We started with 144 of the world's best bowlers. 5th straight week on tour, a full field, which is connected to the story about Frank Guccione having to go to the PTQ to make it all the way to the TV show. Checking in with this week's Days In on the Road. We're off to the AMS Syosset Lanes, Long Island next week, 1 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN for the Cambridge Credit Classic. Then Latham, New York, and the TOC Arena Finals for each. The entire Mohegan Sun Arena will host the PBA Tournament of Champions. Great event in December. Be sure to log on to PBA.com. For arena tickets, they're available now. And the regional events going on in Texas and Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Barnes struck in the 5th before a commercial break. A double puts him up 3.
And this was the lane yesterday that he left 4 solid pins in a row and needed a strike to win in the 10th frame. So he's got some bad karma about this lane.
6th frame. 10 pin again.
Again. We're going to watch this ball go from the 16th board all the way out to theirs to almost to the 1st board, come flying back. 6-pin wraps around it again, just like the last shot.
Showing you results from the round of 16. Here at the Pepsi Open.
Okay.
Talking to the lane. Now, I know from watching on TV a couple of times this year, you chat quite a bit at those pins in the lane, right?
You have to. You have to. If you can't talk to yourself or talk to somebody, no, you have to. You know, the folks back home often wonder why we leave solid 10s. There's a variety of reasons. It could be the way that the pins are set up. But right now, Chris Barnes, trailing by 7, needs to keep the pressure on.
Flush in the pocket on lane 23.
That's only struck.
Look at those eyes. Right on the target. Never leaves them. Right here, he's saying just, he knows it's a little bit high. Perfect shot.
Chris Barnes wants to catch up with Walter Ray Williams Jr. for the points lead. Avoiding a split is Guccione, but he does have the 6-10 to work with here for his mark.
Quite happy to leave just the 6-10. Still maintains a slim 5-pin lead through 7 frames, assuming that he makes this spare. And we're going to see the rocket to the 6-10 again.
Covers and gets his mark. For this week for Frank Guccione, the best appearance on tour. Another High Life Classic near Chicago, 61st place finish. 104th last week at the Banquet Classic near Grand Rapids. So from 104 through the PTQ to the show. I mean, what a road for Guccione. Crossing over. Little Brooklyn strike.
He knows he threw a bad shot, but that's a very happy man right there. As soon as he lets go, he's saying, please, please, give me help, help. And he got it. Actually, it was a perfect solid Brooklyn. Yeah, thank you. Now he's got to sit down and collect himself because he'll be finishing first. Barnes down by 5.
Strike here puts him up 5, looking for a double. Has it.
No 10-pin that time. Barnes now with a 5-pin lead. If he strikes here, it doesn't matter what Frank does in the 9th and 10th. He can't shut him out. If he doesn't strike, Frank can go up in the 9th, 10th, and 11th and shut him out. He struck the last 3 times on this left lane.
Barnes made our first domestic TV show in Wichita, lost to Dave DeAntremont in the championship. Gets to get back.
And a good break. Yes. Pure bonus.
Look at that cupped wrist at the top. He starts it like that. Oh, there's some excitement. He knows there's nothing Frank can do right now but put the pressure on.
Looking for a double in the ninth, and a difficult split.
The big four. Well, Frank probably just a little bit nervous right now. He didn't get that ball out as far as he'd like to, right through the heart. Big four. I think we're going to see this one at 30 miles an hour. Try to bounce something out, and he almost did.
Just about got it on the big four split.
But with that opening, he'll need to strike out to make Barnesy show up and get good count on his first ball. That's about 30 miles an hour, and that's the advantage of throwing it hard. You get those pins flying around. He almost made it.
That ball was airborne almost the entire way down the lane. Just ripped it.
Needs 2 strikes. Still not out of it.
Second open, though, of the match.
And that will be it for Frank's first telecast.
Still a great week. Chris knows he's won it. 1 to go.
You know, considering that Frank this summer worked all summer long and saved enough money to come out here and bowl on tour. He finances himself. He has no sponsor. And being that he only made $1,000 in his first few events, and he almost does hit a kill, this was a huge day for him. And I'm sure we'll see him again.
Enjoys home building in the off-season.
Just throws it as hard as he can. Oh, come on, he wants some air time. Give me a spare. I can throw another shot.
With his partner, Dean Wyman. They run Frankie G Framing back home near Denver. And that, as Brian mentioned, helped finance his run at another possible championship. But Chris Barnes, the better bowler today, will advance off to the championship match.
Now, Chris taking an opportunity. He knows he's won the match. He's going to play around a little bit. He's going to try a different line, try a different ball, in case the lanes transpire during the next match. He'll have to wait a game before he comes back.
Another 10-pin on that lane. Keep that in mind for the championship match against either our Randy Peterson or Blaze Bedoya. Randy's watching. His semifinal match comes up next. Pepsi's spare ball here for Barnes.
See you in a little while.
Confident words to the crowd here in Philadelphia. The great week ends for Frank Guccione and his first ever TV show. Chris Barnes solid when he had to be. He's off to the championship match in search of his 4th career title.